Okay. So. Right now, the goal is to find stud multipliers. And through them, be able to afford Voldemort, because there is a trophy for using Voldemort to kill every Harry variant. It's kind of the equivalent to, what's it? Where does that go? Before I answer that question, one thing I should do is just point out that there's already one improvement over years 1 to 4. And it's visible right from the off, and it's the fact that that the ghost instead becomes now that we've finished story mode, the ghost becomes someone who checks our progress. Insofar as, like, finding everything is concerned. Which is nice. Hey, Aunt Petunia. I understand that I'm an hour late. I'm sorry. I overslept. I have no excuse. From opportunity to Uncle Vernon. We impress the waitress unless we get her. I know for a fact that someone with a key is in here. Another Dudley variant. The original, apparently. It's not like being the Doctor, you know, you may be a Doctor, but I am the Doctor. The original, you might say. But anyways, seems we're gonna need a We're gonna need the dark side in order to get our key. I had been hoping otherwise because, well, oh, greetings. I understand that I'm an hour late, but it does mean that I can actually... It's funny, Susan Bones is portrayed by... is in Philosopher's Stone as the daughter of director Chris Columbus, and yet she's one of the very few students who doesn't know Expecto Patronum. Anyway, some cool stuff. Since this was the first LEGO game to come with character packs as DLC, we get them right from the off because this is a remaster for PS4, including the 4 founders, which gives us a Dark Wizard right off the bat, which is really cool. I should probably also grab Rowena Ravenclaw for some house pride and stuff. And I like how the minifig even comes with the diadem. That's some sweet attention to detail. Salazar Slytherin is cool and all, but it kind of sucks you can't play him in the Chamber of Secrets level. No, you can't, but I suppose the closest we can get is to bring him into that one bit in the chamber where Thorfinn Rao. But come on, we get the characters who died centuries before the books, but no Year 1 to 4 characters? You would think that if the Thorfinn Rao, who even is that? He's just a model swap of Voldemort. Of Workman Dolohov. Alright, bam. Mrs. Cole. From memory, she's who we need for... Damn it. Am I gonna have to grab Dudley? Because he's strong. Well, to be fair, I'm already gonna have to go back to grab someone with a key now that I have that. So sheesh, who even are these characters? I'm not as up to Harry Potter lore as I thought. Raoul and Dolohov, they're the Death Eaters that led the shootout in that very cafe. Idiot! Don't do that before buying your key person. Okay, where's Mrs. Cole? Voldemort, Raoul, Mrs. Cole. There we go. Dudley, waitress. Okay, so because you weren't here to when I noted it, my goal is to, right now at least, is to look for stud multipliers because Voldemort is really damn expensive. Xenophilius. If Salazar is a model swap of Voldemort, can he touch Quirrell? I guess we can't know, because can he kill Voldemort as the waitress? That would be cool. Where'd my phone go? It's what I've got chat on. There it is. So there she is. Where's Dudley? Because he's got my strength. All right, we're all good. So he's a pack lead. Minty. Pack leads is strong. Alright, so she's the one who has our key. Gives us a ministry guard. Okay. Bam. The ministry is one of those governments. Even so, I wouldn't be surprised if Dumbledore's big plan for Order of the Phoenix was all about crippling Harry's trust in the ministry for very understandable reasons. Still one of those governments in the epilogue. You'd think that with Shacklebolt as Minister for... Okay. Lucius. Scabior. This bag, the main snatcher. Yeah, the story goes with both the government is corrupt and Voldemort is a product of his environment, and killing the main baddie solves all the world's problems. I suppose then it isn't long before you two realize. Well, it's just a normal snatcher. But before you two realize there is a very good reason why I don't like weighing in on stuff like that. The most I'll say is that the moral lessons I was taught by at least the earlier Assassin's Creeds have stuck with me to this day. I mean, there's a reason why you have to understand the words, nothing is true, everything is permitted, if you were to preach them properly. Anyway, since you're here, Mark, I might as well say that even if I'm not catching you up, I know, as far as trophy levels goes, I know someone who is, like... Admittedly, is it strange that I think Salazar's design is more interesting than Voldemort's? Not really, like, because Voldemort's design feels like a metaphor for something. I mean, if you want to play out the snake imagery, you could make the argument that it's an allusion to, like, ever since the Bible, snakes have been, like, a metaphor of, like, manipulation or some other sinister thing. I always thought he looked like that because he ruptured his soul so many times. Yeah, it is. So maybe it's an effort to demonstrate that it takes a very specific kind of mindset to be so afraid of death that you'll deliberately make one Horcrux, let alone 7. Niggle, I love the Lupin Lockhart hairpiece. Sadly, I don't own that Lego piece IRL. I even have one of my OC. He's with that hairpiece. And the 7th one was a complete accident. I mean, yeah, it is. But that's what... Have you ever heard of Herpo the Fowl? I always thought he sounded like a really interesting character. If I have, it was probably on one of the Chocolate Frog cards in the EA games, especially the early ones. Okay, how about Ginger Witch? I just found out about her. I can imagine where that came from. Yeah, just so you know, Autotext, this is the this is the hub through much of Deathly Hallows. It's got a lot of stuff to find in it, which, and the fact that I haven't yet found a character detector, or at least bought one, doesn't help. This is really interesting. You know how they had to print daily profits for the movies? If you pause and read them, several articles talk about the crimes of one Ginger Witch. They even brought her back in the Fantastic Beasts movies. Do you suppose then that it was a moment, a matter of time before, like, Mina Lima started working on like designs for the books? Sounds like Cartman. Okay. Ah, yes. Reg Catamol. Definitely know him. He was who Ron was disguised as during the infiltration of the Ministry. Can you defeat Voldemort as Pajama Harry? I'm not sure if it'll let you for, like, the final battle, because... But if trophies count... Alright, looks like we're done here. But if trophies count, setting one player as Fleur, the most neutered of the Triwizard champions. Why? Because she did the poor girl win even a single challenge? I hate how there's no peril detector because we also cut out her Vila heritage. Didn't Molly, Ginny, and Hermione hate Fleur for no reason? Well, Molly I can kind of understand because she's being protective of Bill. Well, there was a reason. She's a French floozy. Okay. Right now we're still missing two character tokens. Muggle Orphan. The Muggle Orphan looks like Oliver Twist. Okay, Muggle Orphan should be a main now. Why? Because he looks like he looks like he grew up in the Victorian slums and waitress treats. Can it do the de-do? Well, we'll be like, Avada Kedavra! The Muggle Orphan gets back up, looks him dead in the eye and says, "Please, sir, I'd like some more." The dark, dark, evil way. Okay, main characters are one thing, but the friggin' waitress variants. Lucius. Girl doesn't even have a name and yet she has two playable versions. No, she's that Harry. She's that waitress Harry struck out with on at the start of Half-Blood Prince. Who's Harry Potter? Oh, no one. Bit of a tosser, really. Maybe, but would anybody have complained if they were represented both with one waitress character? Or more accurately, Dumbledore was a cockblocker. Yeah, he was, but... I mean, he sort of made it up to him by bringing him to the Burrow for... the rest of his time until school. Dumbledore should be a cockblocker. If I remember correctly, wasn't Harry with Cho? Plus, Harry didn't strike me as the guy who'd flirt with some random girl. Okay, well... A red brick detector. Certainly appreciate that now. Okay. So now... Salazar's beard and green robe looks so cool. Looks almost like an evil version of Wizard Red from the... In a way, that's... In a way, it kind of helps me not mind the fact that... Well, I should be using Rowena for House Pride. Guys, what if Wizard Red is the true heir of Slytherin? Do we know what house he started in? Well, we don't know the blue wizard's names. Luna and overalls. I would play Lego Lord of the Rings, but again... there's no, like, native PS3 emulation, and getting it to run on a native PS3 is a pain in the ass, so... Yeah. Anyway, that's good. So unless I get that trophy for killing redcaps, I do intend to... Mike as Voldemort. Filch, you'll be... Which is funny because in modern day, if Beauxbatons are all females in the movies and Durmstrangs are all males, do they reproduce with each other? How do we know they don't have significant others back home? Like outside of school? Ah yes, the Golden Trio, Hermione, Dudley, and Salazar. How do you know their dance numbers in Goblet of Fire weren't an elaborate mating ritual? See, I would include a... Salazar would be like, me and the besties, takes a selfie with Dudley and Hermione. To be fair, I would grab Ollivander because, well, he's the War Doctor, but... Especially since, despite filling in for the first Doctor in modern times, Filch is actually pretty useless. The only thing I can think he is also the first guy to die in Alien. Who, the War Doctor? What is wrong with me? Why would I go in here when the thing I unlocked was a red brick? I want to give Filch the key ability. I think his minifig even has a key printed on his legs. I would have taken that over him being completely useless, to be honest. Especially in years 1 to 4, because, well, with goblins being the only ones to have keys in that game, it means you had to find Griphook from in Diagon Alley before you could start the 100% grind anywhere else. Does Filch not have Mrs. Norris? Yeah, he does, and that's about it. Is that Fudge at the newsstand? I heard Lucy has a peacock in this game. Is that true? Depends who Lucy is. He has a bowler hat, but he has... Oh, Lucius, right. Well, he's a dark wizard, so it's... What's with the dead train guard? Still paying off his funeral? I mean, Fudge being reduced to a newspaper seller is karma. So... grab the Deluminator from here. says to bring it over here. So, I'm hoping that this is another stud multiplier or the character detector or something. He should apply as a new Dark Lord. That position was... I was right! It was a new stud multiplier. He should apply for the position of the new Dark... What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Oh. Well, since Disney owns Ice Age now, because, well, Blue Sky was one of the Fox properties that they bought, you have to wonder if they'd tie Ice Age into Dinosaur or something. Dudley's magic is so powerful that sparks appear underneath his feet. Pure, unconcentrated magic. Yeah, I was making a Batman and Robin joke. I love that movie, NGL. Lisa was made by people who supports... Oh. It's still absolute rubbish. I suppose that's why Tim Burton doesn't like directing follow-ups to his own stuff. I mean, yeah, he did Batman Returns, but you know what he didn't do? Alice Through the Looking Glass, I think. So, getting all the stud multipliers so soon is a very good thing, because can wizards sue? I don't know if they'd feel comfortable in a Muggle court. It's nice that you can save the students in peril and all, but do you have to take their lunch money? Harry was on trial in Order of the Phoenix, so I believe so. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know how comfortable a wizard would feel in a Muggle court, but the fact that there are courts in the Ministry would imply that even if they may not strive for careers in defense lawyer. Oh yeah, didn't Draco threaten to sue after he got mildly scratched by Buckbeak? Alright, you got Waitress and that other Waitress, who should be character 3. Alright, well, there are 3 more character tokens we can find in Hogsmeade. Maybe we can find out here. Muggle Orphan, duh. We need a Wizard Court show. Law and Order of the Phoenix. Well, I'm glad that you two are having the time of your lives here. Take some of the burden off me to make entertaining what most people would consider the boring ass process of that's one lucky muggle orphan traveling with 2 hot waitresses. Not the way you think. Okay, so cleaning up icicles is scroll back up and read the Wizard Court show. No comment. I was too proud of that pun. Yeah, I did notice that. Marietta Edgecombe. Oh god. Marietta Edgecombe, who is not a traitor in the Lego game. Yeah. I remember for the longest time, this was the only time she's ever been seen. Harry Winter. Okay. 5 of 5, student in peril, gold brick, red brick. I think we're done here. If you still do that voiceover thing, can Muggle Orphan's quote be, "Please, sir, I'd like some more." To be fair, the only exposure I've had to Oliver the Musical was by a Horrible History song that was ripping on it. Because as of like especially season 2, that's all Horrible History songs have focused on. And it is appropriate given that David Copperfield was based on Dahl's Chicken's own experience in Victorian factories. Is Voldemort's family playable in the game? Henrietta proves that book-exclusive characters are fair game. Or the Incestors. Also, fun fact, I too have a character named Henrietta in a bonus chapter of my book. Michael Corner. Alright. So. We're still looking for 1 gold brick, we know where that is, and 1 character token. Who the heck flickin' dang is Michael Corner? You sound like one of... Corner. Does he live in Diagon Alley or something? No, but the way you went heck flickin' dang kind of reminds me of one of my real life friends. And it's like, Heckin' frick, damn and blast, shit and fard. That was his thing. Still might be. Or would it be more appropriate to say it might still be? Regardless, we are very close to being able to afford Voldemort himself, which means we can start making progress on the trophy for killing every Harry free play variant as Voldemort. Alright. That dragon boat actually suits Salazar, though. It kind of does, like the color palette especially. Well, now that we can afford Voldemort, think we should grab him? Salazar looking at the dragon boat. Maybe I should get a pet reptile. And that's what led to the basilisk being the terror of the school. You have to wonder what he named the basilisk. To be fair, you can't fight Salazar's basilisk as Salazar himself. Alright. So now, whatever happens, release ready for some trophies. Voldemort. A young casual Lily Potter. But to be fair, she would have been Lily Evans by that point. Luna in overalls. Alright. Since we're in Diagon Alley, might as well show you something pretty nifty. Mario Luna. Fred and George help stretch the roster even more, since you can just make the same variants twice over. There's Pious Thicknees. Hey Narcissa. Slytherin Twin 2. You were talking about padding? Pious Thickness. Sirius in Azkaban. I feel like that character token placement feels kind of like they really programmed Slytherin Twin 2 and didn't think, should we? Well, the placement of the Sirius and Azkaban token really makes me feel like it really reminds me of you know, the placement of like that one mini kit in the corner on a Bespin. Wait, Azkaban Sirius is a Prisoner of Azkaban character. Wonderful characters aren't off the table. Where's Quirrell? That is a good question. Well, we get Sirius's mom. Boo. Right, Sirius's mum, okay, that's a filler character, but one's actually that's actually interesting. Like, you don't expect her to be playable, but it's kind of cool that she is. Whoa, jeez! Narcissa Malfoy. Gold bricks. Ah. Mama Black, Narcissa, getting all the Black family mums. I suppose there is one surefire way to... I think her name's Walpurga or something. Okay, the stream's going on for an hour. Probably won't get that much done once we actually start getting to Hogwarts, so... tell you what, we'll do the Million Stud bonus now. So, this is a door you can only build. It's sort of like, it's sort of like the bonus doors in what's it? Lego Star Wars. You can only build them once you've finished each movie. Except this one, you have to wait until you've finished all of story mode. So, everything about Salazar is about how vicious and evil he is. Everything about Godric is about him being heroic, but did the two even dislike each other? I mean, they worked on a school together. Yeah, they did. But how do we know that Salazar wasn't good at hiding his intentions until the whole thing that led to making the chamber? I actually know this set of the Burrow because I actually had it as a kid. Well, that's the set that came with Bellatrix, right? I think so. Smash will pass the roster of the game. Only the adult characters, obviously. That's a good question. Oh wait, they put real Lego sets in this level? Ah, so cool. Ah, Leo. Also, funny how they keep using the green street piece, which was retired in like 2004, instead of the grey ones that they're using to this day. I hate how you have this little swimming area. Is Augmenty even in the series? Maybe it is, but it didn't play a big role, did it? I know that Harry used it in the cave with the locket when Dumbledore was asking for water, but it didn't work, and so he had to grab water from like the thing. Hey, don't jump into the swimming pool, at least not before turning into Harry swimwear. Hi, Speedo, Harry, and Ron. Wait, Harry Swimwear is an actual character in the second task of Goblet of Fire. You want to get into the pool? Turn into Sharkhead Crumb. Okay. They've already given me everyone I'm looking for. They gave me Scabio for dark magic. They give me her for stuff that needs keys. Can you test Lucy if he has the peacock? He had one in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, since, well, Dark Wizards usually have the killing curse for their green spell, which is where, if you have it, which is where your pet would be if you had one. If you insist, I will check. No, it was Lucius. Filter. Dark Wizards, Lucius. Dark Magic, Peacock. Huh. Huh. Idiot. You have... It gave you Voldemort. You say peacock and nobody bats an eye. You say poopcock and everyone loses their mind. Alright. I'm glad the peacock is playable, but wasn't it an albino one in the book? The one we saw here just had normal colors. How many peacocks does Lucy have? Does he have a soft spot for birds? Nah, it's a sign of his vanity. Imagine if the series had been structured around the 7 deadly sins like Persona 5 is. Wait, I get it now. The peacock is the Death Eater's answer to Forks. It's even got a contrasting color. Who cares about Harry and Voldemort? The final battle should have been between Fawkes and the Malfoy Peacock. Wait, that's the trick from the final battle set. I had that one, the one that came with Narcissa. Maybe it was around then. I gotta check if I still have that somewhere. Maybe it was then that they started basing the Million Stud bonuses on like the actual sets, because from my memory of Lego Lord of the Rings, because I had that on the Wii before anywhere else. From memory, I recognized its Rivendell set from another from a Rivendell set I had. Is there anything I can do with this car? Looking at... And there's the poorly named Hogwarts Castle set. If you want to show some house pride, maybe it'll unlock Ravenclaw Triplet 3. Why poorly named? Isn't that the last set that had the Lupin hairpiece? Because it was barely the castle. Haven't they since done something more, like, more complete? Can Lucy's Peacock do anything? I wouldn't be surprised if, at the bare minimum, all the stuff that most peacocks can do. Where's a peacock? Doesn't say it can do anything, but I would imagine that it can fit in the same sort of spaces that Crookshanks can. Can you beat Voldemort as the peacock? Or at least Nagini? Wait, Lucius has a squeaky voice. Which is funny given... Oh man. Seeing this is like I'm traveling back to 2011. Times were so much simpler. I know, imagine if we actually could get that back. Didn't have to be so paranoid about so much of the time. I mean, bam. I mean, I feel like this whole cultural bullshit hadn't started yet. Or maybe I was just younger. I can be confident that I was, but, ooh, the Quidditch set. I had this one too. Is the Dobby set here too? I think that's this one actually. Wait. Oh wait, it's big. There it is, the Dobby set. Oh man, this is a nostalgia trip. The feelings I get for this, oh, Dobby, find him, kill him. That was actually my first Harry Potter set. I think I have memories of that set too. But as I was saying, oh. The fact that the other week, did you buy any Lego Destined by Name sets? Those are the days. Not sure. But anyway, as I was saying, the other week, I was at karaoke with a friend I was telling Mark about, the one who's using Telltale games to so quickly race ahead of me as far as like trophy score goes. I think Godric wields a sword in the game. Who'd win? Godric with the sword or Vernon with the shotgun? Well, it's goblin made, so the sword will only take in that which makes it stronger. Depends on if the sword has deflecting power. I think Vernon will turn Godric into Gondric. Do you agree that Vernon should be able to fire a shotgun in the game? He'd be the most fun character to play as, by far. Also, fitting that you play as Lucy and Harry near the Dobby set. Whoa, that's the 2006 Holiday Train engine. That wasn't even a Harry Potter set. Ah, this is such a nostalgia trip. As I was saying, her mum had us take a photo and position my hand on like her shoulder or something, and I was so paranoid because, well, people had been ripped apart for less Fortunately, she understood and was more or less quick to forgive me, or or at least to like console me. Because I mean, she understands where I'm coming from, so she gets me to an extent. But that sort of paranoia is why I wouldn't miss the culture wars if they never happened. Quidditch is so yesterday. True pure... Quidditch so yesterday. True pure bloods play one ball. Look and learn, Potter boy. Yay. I am Zhao the Conqueror. I am the Moonslayer. I will capture the Avatar. It's funny that he was made into a minifig twice, as Lucy and the Grand Inquisitor. Well, I'm sure Mark has a bunch more ideas of who else could be made into minifigs, like Gortash from Baldur's Gate 3. How many minifigures are based on your characters, Red? Any I've originated? None. Any I've actually done voices for? Quite a few. Because, I mean... Maul, Obi-Wan, and Jango come to mind. Actually, you impersonated a lot of characters in your LEGO Star Wars playthrough. In a way, that's kind of why I'm so annoyed that that I can't get the PS3 to work, and like can't film on it, let alone stream it. Because then I'd have been able to do like not just these on PS3, but also like Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars, Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Batman 2. You and I are more like you and I are more like than you think, Potter. I'm nothing like you. We're both like pet birds. The Lego Star Wars impressions were so fun. I'd love to see you stream Clone Wars and do more impressions as you unlock characters. Well, then you'd have to catch them up on Twitch, and because, well, the only place I could stream it from would be my Xbox. Oh gosh, it's Wizard Chess from the first movie. Right, if I have, where is it? Okay, I don't have fast magic, so there's nothing I need to turn off. So, I don't have a Twitch account. Well, you know what they say, life's a Twitch. Alright, very real saying. Checkmate. You have to wonder. Is Cruel smart enough to beat the chess game? You good enough at Quidditch to catch the winged key? The troll thing I get, but he had to be insanely OP to get through all those rooms by himself. Well, that's why if you believe in Dumbledore's big plan, which I do, you could make the argument that he probably cheated using teacher authority, and more than that, that the trials were only there as like tests for Harry and or anyone he brought with him. Now that troll was knocked out cold. Well, they did catch the key. The potion riddle was in the book too. No wonder he was a Ravenclaw. It says a lot that that thing with the bottles was a thing in the EA games, and even disc 2 of the DVDs. Yet it wasn't in the movie. Or maybe he did pass the chess game, since there are destroyed pieces in the room. Can the milk float? Yeah. Right. How about this? Quirrell had to be killed off. He would have single-handedly won the Wizarding War. Collector's Dream! That's for completing the Million Stud bonus. And there's a gold brick for it. And he's never mentioned again. Tell you what. There's also a plot hole with him in the movie. Narcissa, Mrs. Black. Anywhere Wormtail accidentally revives Krill instead of Voldemort. Krill doesn't let Harry touch him at the start, yet expresses surprise when he does get touched at the end. There we see the vanishing cabinet bring us straight to the room requirement. Maybe he's autistic and doesn't like physical contact or something. Makes sense with him being so shy and introverted. Yeah, it does, but he did spend a lot of time in the field trying to get as much experience as possible. He also wasn't wearing the turban yet when he met Harry in the book. In the movie he was, in the book it wasn't mentioned, but that doesn't mean he wasn't wearing it. Luna yellow dress. Crab. I do like the recurring theme of Harry meeting all his Defense Against the Dark Arts professors before the school year really begins. In the book, I think he tried to break into Gringotts alone, and Voldemort then became a tumor after he failed. He never met Moody before. Huh? No, he didn't, but he did catch a glimpse of the Doctor. If the guy who single-handedly breezed through all the Philosopher's Stone challenges failed to get into Gringotts, that must be really safe. They should have kept the stone there. Moody technically wasn't his teacher. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. He may not have met Moody, but he did catch a glimpse of the Doctor. Blazer beanie and a black shirt. Wait, is the Grey Lady still in the game? That could be Rowena's player too. Even Blaze Zabini gets variants. Oh no! Are you gonna... 5 of 5, Goldbrick and Kid in Peril. Right, good. So, onto the classroom, not classrooms, the dorms, the common rooms. Okay. Hermione. The only variant I'm looking forward to is Pseudomort. We're talking about Blazer's variants, there's him in school uniform. Battering ram always works. If only someone from Lord of the Rings had made an appearance, that... Especially during, like... See, he chose now to stop playing as Salazar when you're in his home turf. To be fair... Bam. Goyle and a jumper. Opens that. We get Draco in a sweater. And yet, for some reason, we can't actually enter Slytherin common room. Oh, it counts as part of the... as part of the common room lobby or whatever it is. Because we need more space for the wilderness in London. Okay. And we got the fat lady for some reason. The fat lady is playable? Does she even exist outside the painting? Well, put it this way. How much does the fat lady have her pet... her pet hippo? Ron blue pajamas. Now I need a movie where the fat lady gets fed up with not being taken seriously and everybody runs when she gets out of the painting. That would be cool, but blue pajamas? Are they implying there are multiple pajama variants for Ron? Anyway, I'm guessing Gryffindor is the only common room we can access because we couldn't get into Slytherin. The portrait in front of the portrait for Hufflepuff is scratched. That opens to reveal Neville in a tank top. Okay. Why add Neville in a tank top when they should add Neville in a tank? The f***ing toad can't hide from me anymore. Hey, Belby. And a student in peril. Hugh Trevor's feasting on Nagini's intestines. Hey, Luna! get... Did they ever explain what happened to Beak the Hippo after book 3? Spec to specs! Why is Myrtle's only variant a swimsuit? That is what Moaning Myrtle looks like? She only has the bathing suit variant? Because fan service. Which is funny given that her only appearance in Doctor Who is as one of the victims of the Absorber Loft. We could unlock Moaning Myrtle uniform separately. So... Fuck that episode. I wouldn't be surprised if the Absorber Loft was a result of like a competition where like fans could submit monster designs and they would actually be turned into... It was literally designed by a child. Then they must have held like a competition of like create your own Doctor Who baddie and... And Davey sees it as his magnum opus episode, which really should tell you Russell T's priorities. So, what did the founders do after they founded Hogwarts? Were they the heads of their respective houses? If so, who'd they hire to be their boss despite being involved in the building? Well, there was one question asked about, like, where the pensive came from. Rowena was the architect. Then who was the... Godric did most of the shit. Maybe that's what happened to Salazar. He felt dissatisfied with, like, how it could result in, like, a massive self-importance complex on behalf of Godric. glad the other founders involved Salazar. That's an important contribution there. What would Hogwarts be without a student-eating, limbless dinosaur? Also, use for the sewer system. Ah, he was the plumber! But unlike the heroic Mario brothers, Salazar was an evil plumber. But yeah, that's a very important contribution since modern plumbing wasn't invented then, so maybe Salazar is a time-traveling Luigi. That's something. McGonagall pajamas. It was also his hat that did the click selection every year. Ginny pajamas. Okay, so McGonagall in a nightgown. This game is full of fan service. Godric also got a town named after him. Well, the only two common rooms that count separately from the others are Ravenclaw and Gryffindor. Hey, Madame Pomfrey. Okay. So, we're good there. Wait. Okay. Oh, Peeves is the only... Right. Wait. Does Narwhal Longbottom come with Trevor the Tortoise? Never got to see Peeves. In the movies, yes. But in the EA games and the handheld version of Years 1 to 4, he gets a couple of boss fights. Though with the latter, I use the term boss fight pretty loosely. We never got to see his pet. We never got to Peeves either. Okay, so last thing I'm missing from this main part of the castle interior is is a character token. I'm not even seeing Peeves in the TV series. Have they said that? But it says a lot that even the EA games, he's not part of the cast. I'm not seeing Teeves in the PV series either. Do you think it really says something that, if that's true, then the EA game and like the first like the EA games and like the handheld version of Years 1 to 4, Madam Pince, are the only places where we see I'm guessing from her shirt that asked for Ravenclaw access. She's hotter in the movies. That goes in there. Anthony Goldstein. Alright, now it goes here. Is that a stud multiplier or a... No, it's full rescue. Anthony Goldstein is in the game? Didn't Rowling make him up on the spot when asked if there were any Jewish students at Hogwarts? Alright. Those blinking field riddle is so insanely difficult that even Hermione Granger can only solve them by the help of a book. Imagine how much harder they must be in the Lego Indiana Jones, where instead of 4 options for tiles, it's 9. Okay. So that is it for the library. So, since you're at Hogwarts anyways, can you visit your daughter? I thought we kind of did that at Ravenclaw Tower. Okay. There she is. She heads up and inside. And Gryffindor is the only common room we can actually enter. Oh, she stormed into her room. She didn't seem too happy to see her mum. Teenagers, am I right? I won't be surprised at all if that's what they were thinking when The Force Unleashed designed Maris Brood. First time in the Great Hall, and we immediately get a red brick, and it's character studs. Shark T's edgy teen daughter, yeah. I see what you mean, you know, Shark T is pretty much a, mother figure. You have to wonder, since that Shark T is Wonder Woman, You have to wonder if the latter had ever given her some experience with maternal roles. Matriarchal, certainly. Since that Shakti is also Wonder Woman, can she also throw tanks around? Helena was in the first movie. Well, yeah, during the whole introduction of the ghosts in the Great Hall, she would have been. And it just so happens that we bring that up in the Great Hall. I think we should see Shakti throw some tanks about. If Disney puts me in charge of a Star Wars story, that's going to happen. Also dating Nick. The only interaction I remember her having with Nearly Headless Nick was him discussing Harry being assigned to the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Which is, I suppose, kind of appropriate because, well, Nick in EA's Half-Blood, yeah, you can call that a date. I suppose you could call that kind of appropriate because, well, Nick in the EA games was, I think he was a save point in PS1 Philosopher's Stone. He was essentially a waypoint in Half-Blood Prince. Inter-household relationships? The unforgivable curses just became forgivable. Also, the Bloody Baron is literally Captain Hook. To be fair, if Harry had read and or seen Peter Pan going into that, he'd notice it a lot quicker if he was in Slytherin, because then the Bloody Baron would have to fill all of Nick's roles. Which I suppose would be a bit more annoying if that's how you're supposed to find the Grey Lady in Deathly Hallows Part 2, because lasting literally everything. Where can the last character token be? Tell you what, I know there's a red brick around where Fred and George staged. Yeah, out here where Fred and George staged their grand plan of departing the school in a blaze of glory circa, or Order of the Phoenix. Okay. How appropriate that we didn't find the Gryffindor one while we were here the first time. And now I've lost a viewer. George during the owls. I'm guessing this is going to be Fred during the owls. So, yep. Okay. If this is character token detector, then I'm in good shape. So are those the same character twice? Super strength! Nice! Now we don't need strength potions or dedicated strength characters anymore. I know the actual IRL minifigs are actually identical. Super strength. Awesome. I think as a red brick that just negates the need for strength potions and stuff by giving literally everyone strength. Who are we going to turn into a muscle mummy? Hey, the first Doctor. Okay, I feel like, if we're able to find the, the remaining character tokens here and in the main part of the Castlands area, the one that connects here, the exterior of the Great Hall to the... Look at the Bloody Baron. Imagine being a ghost and still getting stuck. Okay, there's the Fat Friar. So... Now... Back down into the... in here... There's still one more character token I'm missing. Somewhere. And now I've dropped down to 1 viewer. What am I supposed to do? Tell you what, since I'm losing viewers anyway, I might as well... Yeah, what I might as well do is head back to Diagon Alley and then end with a bit of a spending spree. So we're as ready as we can be for next time. Okay, I've just gotten a viewer back. Never mind. Guessing one person's having internet troubles, and that explains why they're popping in and out so often. Oh, it's this kid. Alright. So where's Ron? So use the illuminator to grab from here. Pop it in here. So so now let's head on back to Diagon Alley and do a bit of spending. spend money to make money, you understand? Okay. Okay. Sorry. Super strength, full rescue, character studs. Right. Wait. Mrs. Fig! Is this the character token, the one downstairs, the thing downstairs has been waiting on? Wait. Wait, check. Yep. Okay. Now. I don't feel like I should be too disappointed because I did get one trophy this stream, and after Need for Speed Rivals, if I can get at least one trophy per stream, I'll be happy. Okay. So, I think that has fully taken me to the end. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.